Hi friends, welcome to some of my favorite recipes. I'm a mom of 6. All of my kids are major foodies. This is gonna go by really quickly. Some are more detailed than others. I am including my famous Hawaiian chili recipe that won last year's Halloween chili cook-off. It is so bomb over jasmine rice. I also am doing a sushi bake that's really easy to make for like a large family in a large baking dish. And you could just scoop it up with some seaweed. I'm doing a creamy Cajun shrimp pasta, a seafood boil. I should have used whole corn, but I didn't have it on hand, so that's why I used canned corn. It's kind of weird. Make sure you use a whole corn. And then also a beef stew. Let me know if you have any questions. I will list all the ingredients and the recipes in the description box. Here is my famous chili recipe. It is a Hawaiian chili recipe. It's bomb over jasmine rice. I have a large family with 6 kids. I make a huge pot. I separate it and freezer it into different meals. Because I have a big family, I'm doubling my recipe. 2 pounds ground beef, 20 ounces of Portuguese sausage. Do not skip that sausage. It really brings out the flavor. 2 bell peppers diced and a whole onion diced. You want to chop these as small as possible. Also, I feel like celery is optional. I did it this time. I'll put all the measurements of all the canned goods and all the spices that I put in here down below in the description, because there's quite a few different spices that make this dish just come to life. So I'm starting out by browning the ground beef, then I put it to the side, then I go ahead and put the Portuguese sausage in the same pan and brown this up. After this is done, I will marry both of them together and then get started on the rest of my ingredients. And the reason why I know this chili recipe is so bomb is because your girl won the chili cook-off at her friend's Halloween party last Halloween. So yeah, it's really, really good. It's super flavorful. I get tons of compliments. It's a perfect winter dish to bring to like a cookout or a family holiday party or anything when you got lots of mouths to feed. And this is one of my top dishes that I make that I freeze into multiple meals. So I'll probably get about 4 meals out of this and maybe like a lunch for my hubby. It is so versatile. You can put it on top of chili dogs, on top of jasmine rice. You can even have like a chili spaghetti. I've done that before. It's so good. So after putting both meats together in a pot, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the rest of my ingredients. I did put some garlic salt and some pepper and a little bit of onion powder when I made the ground beef to get the meat a lot of flavor, but I added the veggies after the meats. And then in another pot, I'm doing all of my tomato ingredients. I've got 4 cans of chili beans. Sometimes I do 2 chili beans and 2 kidney beans, but I only had chili beans and I think it's fine that way. This chili recipe does come together pretty quickly, especially if you prep your veggies and your meats the night before like I did. I chopped it all up, so it took me about like 15 minutes to just assemble and get this going. But after I put all of the seasonings into the tomato mixture and it's nice and seasoned, I will go ahead and marry it with the meat and then add my chicken broth. I didn't have any on hand, so I just did like a chicken bouillon mixture with some warm water to help it dissolve quicker, but it turned out so good. And it looks really chunky, but the more you simmer it, the thicker it gets, and it just kind of breaks down everything and it becomes more like a chili rather than like a chunky soup. Then you add the remaining ingredients, the ketchup, the Worcestershire sauce, the brown sugar, and once it's all mixed up and you're ready to serve after maybe an hour on low on simmering, then you go ahead and add some mayo. Don't skip the mayo. The mayo just really gives it that Hawaiian vibe. It gives it like a creamier texture and feeling to it, and it really makes the dish yummy. Everyone in my family is a huge sushi lover, and this one kind of reminds me of like a baked Lion King. Have you ever had that with like the salmon and the crab and all that? We bake it, we scoop it in seaweed, we put a little bit of like avocado on top, and it's so good. This recipe is easier than you think. You start out by baking the salmon. I put a little bit of salt and pepper and teriyaki sauce on top. And then you just kind of shred it with a fork. And that is the base for it, as well as the chopped imitation crab that you can get at any grocery store. So this one's really, really easy. It's just about kind of mixing things together and layering it on top. So I'll put all the ingredients and the instructions down below in the description for this recipe. Okay, I saw someone else make this creamy Cajun pasta, and I was just like, I have to have it. I think they use like double the cream, double the butter, double the Cajun seasonings and all that. And I tried to make it slightly healthier. So it's a little bit of a drier version, but the flavors are there. You want to make it extra creamy with like lots of sauce. Just double up all the creams and the butters and the seasoning. Okay, so for this seafood boil, someone sent me the Cheeky Bomb seasoning ball, and I used that in this recipe, and it was so good. I think next time I'm going to use clarified butter. Is that what it's called? I heard they have it at Whole Foods. I don't normally shop there, but I'm going to go there just for the butter because I think it'll marry with the seasoning a lot better. You can see a little bit of separation. The flavor was there. I just felt like the butter situation could have been marinating with the seasons a little bit more. So I'll also put a link where you can buy the Cheeky Bombs. They also have a video one that's really good in the slow cooker with some chuck roast to like shred for birria tacos. Dump in the potatoes. Job. Put in there. And then every cold season, we always have to make a crock pot full of beef stew at least once a month. It's probably my husband's favorite. It's so good. So I got a couple pounds, I don't know, maybe 3 pounds of this beef stew meat that I just got at Sam's Club. It's just already cut up, easy peasy, ready to go. And then I've got some onions. I think I'm gonna chop some more. And then I got some carrots and some celery. I need to get some potatoes. I'm also gonna use some garlic. Here's all my veggies. Got some celery, some carrots, some onions chopped up, just like roughly, because I actually like getting a chunk of onion. Some garlic, and I cubed up some potatoes. I think I did 3 potatoes. I think 4 is just too many. I don't want to overpower the meat, but I am going to use some of these beef bouillon cubes because I like that flavor. Later on, I'll use a little bit of flour to kind of like thicken it up a little bit. But our meat is looking real good. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes so it just browns up even more. And then we're gonna start getting this cooking. And I'm still deciding if I'm gonna transfer it to a crock pot. Most likely I will, because I want the beef to be like nice and tender. And I got a lot to do today. I don't have time to watch the stove. So let me get my crock pot out. I put in a very generous tablespoon of tomato paste. And now I'm gonna crush in my beef cubes for extra flavor. All right, so I transferred my meat over to my crock pot, set it on high for now just to kind of get it going. And then I threw in a little bit more oil, a little bit of avocado oil actually, and my onions and my carrots and some garlic. And I'm just gonna saute that. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Saute it for a little bit, and then I will add in my other ingredients in a couple minutes. Added some rosemary, thyme, and small to medium-ish bay leaves. It's coming to a boil right now. I'm gonna add a lot of water. I don't measure, so I'd say about 3 of these big, huge ramen noodle things. I don't know. I'm probably like, I don't know, 5 cups or so. Good morning. Hi. And I'm gonna mix it together. It's gonna come to a boil. It smells so good. And then we're gonna reduce it to a simmer and just kind of let it marinate for a while, kill off all that flour taste, and just let all the herbs get up in here. It's all transferred into the crock pot. I actually added a little bit of garlic salt and some pepper. I'm just trying to get it as flavorful as possible. Let it all marinate together, put it in here. I'm gonna put the lid on it. I am purposely leaving out the celery and the potatoes. Those are gonna go in later. I'm gonna let this cook for like 3 hours or so, and we'll be back. All right, guys, let me know what is your favorite recipe. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. Please subscribe and get post notifications if you want to see more recipes. I'm actually just about to post like some of our travel vlogs in our RV as a family. So if you want to get to know us a little bit more as a family, make sure you subscribe and click the bell. It's free and you get notified when we have a new video. See you in the next one.